Hey y'all, so a little while ago, Jerry from T5 Custom Kydex reached out to me asking me to give my thoughts on this. This is his Kimber K6 revolver, semi-custom, inside the waistband, extended with wedge holster. Now the extended with a wedge is actually important, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the review, because he thinks that this is going to be more comparable than something like this when it comes to a short gun. This is for my Kimber K6S, 2-inch barrel, and obviously a short gun. He thinks that this is more comfortable, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and tell you what I think. The results might actually surprise you. Let's go to the bench. Here we are on the bench, and I'm going to start with quality and craftsmanship like I always do, and then work my way out. So quality and craftsmanship on this, well, it's pretty short, sweet little part of the review it's really good. It's exactly what you'd expect from a company that knows how to make decent kydex. All your edges are smooth. The inside of the holster is smooth. I've had some companies that don't pay as much attention to the quality of their holsters, and the inside of the holsters have actually been rough, and in one particular case was so rough to the point where it ripped the finish off the gun. Um, but no issues with this. Again, smooth on the inside. The edges have all been buffed and are all nice. It's aesthetically pleasing. You see some Kydex holsters, it just looks like they threw half a box of toothpicks and tongue depressors in there, and that was how they made the holster, right? But this very aesthetically pleasing, really nice. Your lines and everything. Really nice looking holster. This came with the Ulti-Clip. I decided to try that. First time trying it, it worked really good for this holster. I'll do a separate review on Ulti-Clips later, but that was, really nice. He does offer a whole bunch of different options for mounting to your belt. I chose the Ulti-Clip, but there's plenty of other options you have. The claw is also really nice, right? So the claw and the wedge is what I'm going to talk about, because I'm going to talk about, as far as comfort, because of course that is like the eternal struggle with Appendix, is finding that comfortable holster that it doesn't feel like you crammed a gun down the front of your pants, even though you have. But I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, as far as the gun fitting in the holster, really nice, really smooth. Fits in nice, pulls out nice, nice level of retention, clicks in real good, right? The gun is not going anywhere, right? And then if for some reason it was, you could tension this up, no problem. So really nice there. Nice tall sight channel, which I always like, because I don't know how well you can see, there's room in there for if you had different sights on the gun. There is different aftermarket options from Kimber, and then from different third-party places. You can get different sights, so it's nice because if you do that, you don't have to worry about them not fitting, right? Just overall, really nice. Trigger is completely covered, no issue of anything getting in there at all, right? Firing grip. Some holsters I've noticed they're cut too high. This one, right? I can get a full firing grip on the gun from the holster, draws out smooth. So yeah, fit and finish, craftsmanship, really good. Now I guess I'll talk about what I was talking about before, which was what are my thoughts of this being more comfortable, this extended length with wedge being more comfortable than the smaller counterpart such as this. And in short, I think it's a whole lot more comfortable. I don't appendix carry a ton, but I do it on occasion, and I have a few different holsters for different guns. And I have noticed that usually what ends up happening is after a couple hours, especially if you're sitting a lot, it can get kind of annoying, especially, I don't know if this is a guy thing, but in certain instances, especially if you've been sitting all day, the bottom of the holster can kind of dig into your groin area. Um, when I first got this, I was like, oh my God, this giant monstrosity, how could this possibly be more comfortable than a smaller holster? But it really was, and this has been basically what I've worn ever since getting the holster. Like I had this one and I was using this one, and then he reached out and sent this one to try, and this has been all I've used because this is far superior, more comfortable because of the addition of the wedge and the extra length. And what I think happens is again, with the bottom of the holster kind of digging into my groin area becoming an issue, with this being longer, it kind of has more surface area to lay against your body. And plus with the wedge, it also is a little extra cushion, and it helps with concealment. The nice thing about the wedge and the claws, when they work together to angle and push the gun, the butt of the gun, which is usually what you're trying to conceal, further into your body without being necessarily uncomfortable. Plus, again, with this rubber wedge here, what is kind of pushing against your body down in that area is a little more forgiving. This is a rubber wedge, and, it's obviously rubber is going to be a little more forgiving than hard Kydex. Almost said plastic, but it's Kydex. But yeah, so comfort level much higher. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still wearing a gun and you're still appendix carrying. Appendix carry is definitely, less comfortable than, carrying outside the waistband on your hip. But depending upon what you're doing or what you decide to carry or how you're what you're doing that day, appendix carry might be what you're doing. I know it's a very popular carry method. I've been getting into it more and more. So honestly, like this really impressed me and kind of changed my mind on appendix carry, because I used to think appendix carry was kind of the thing you could only do for a couple hours and you really wanted to be walking around. I've sat all day, and especially if like my belt's adjusted right and everything's situated right, there's no problem sitting for several hours at a time and wearing this. All right, here we are at crotch cam, everybody's favorite camera angle, and I'm wearing the gun, and it is gone. Like, it's just a loose fitting t-shirt here, and, you just don't see it. Like, it's really doing a good job of concealing the gun. If I pull my shirt real tight here, you'll see you can actually see the outline of the gun belt. I'm wearing a reinforced gun belt right now. You can see the outline of the gun belt better than you can see the gun. The gun, which is, the butt of the gun is right along here. And that, it's tucked in pretty nice, and it's still very comfortable. It does not feel like it's being jammed into your side. It just feels like it's laying against your side. So very comfortable. One of the things I think makes it so comfortable is the fact that because of the wedge and because of the extra length, one of the things I notice is when I go to sit down a lot of times with certain appendix holsters, they'll kind of want to bend into you, where this doesn't do it because it's longer. Like, also something I think aiding the concealment of this is because you've got the wedge, because you've got the extra length, it's, the holster's less top heavy. Again, certain holsters, obviously they're going to be top heavy because, you got the where the belt is, and then, the butt of the gun, the ammo is usually above this, which it is with this, it's actually rides fairly high, but you've also got this, the wedge and everything down here that's kind of acting like a lever, helping to keep the gun straight up and down rather than bowing out and printing bad. So this is how it conceals under just a t-shirt, right? I'll show drawing, right? We'll show for ease of drawing as far as that goes. Very good. Full firing grip, like I was talking about. Gun comes right out, nice and easy, right? Reholstering, no problem at all. I can pretty much even do it one-handed if I don't have to worry about my t-shirt getting caught in there, right? Managed to do that correctly on camera, woohoo. But yeah, draws real smooth, no issues, doesn't, bind up, and then reholsters also really nice and smooth. But yeah, like I said, overall comfort level on there, really good, and definitely something that I would recommend as an all-day holster. For my final thoughts, I really like the holster. When I first opened the box, I kind of thought it was going to feel like cramming a Sherman down my pants. I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this thing's huge, it's bulky, it's whatever. I couldn't have been more wrong. It's very comfortable. It definitely seems like his idea of the extended width wedge really is, the way to go, at least for me. Everybody's different, but it definitely seems to work for me. So I definitely recommend checking it out. You know what? It seems to work for me, so might end up working for you. But I'd like to thank T5 again for thinking of me and sending this holster. But that's my thoughts on it. It's pretty cool. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and have a good day.